Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, and Viksit Bharat at 2047 in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Well-being as part of awareness and campaigns. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today is commemorated as World Population Day on 11th July every year, empowering youth to build the families they want. Fears about the future, such as climate change, world environmental degradation, wars and pandemics are impacting fertility decisions, with nearly 1 in 5 saying these concerns have led or would lead them to fewer children than desired. Economic factors including housing, childcare costs, and job insecurity are major limits on family size. 39% reported financial issues affecting their ability to have their desired number of children. So the global average age of childbearing has risen steadily and now stands at 28 years. Nearly 20% of adults of reproductive age expect they won't be able to have their desired number of children. Access to reproduction healthcare remains a challenge. 18% reporting difficulty obtaining contraception or fertility-related services. So empowering youth to build the families they want. Global fertility rates are falling, prompting warnings about population collapse. But the United Nations Population Fund, UNFP, State of World Population Report shows that real issues is a lack of reproductive agency. Many people, especially youth, are unable to have the children they want. World Population Day 2025 highlights this challenge, focusing on the largest ever generation of young people. The theme, empowering young people to create the families they want in a fair and hopeful world, calls for ensuring youth have the rights, tools, and opportunities to shape their futures. Youth people are already driving change but face major obstacles: economic insecurity, gender equality, limited healthcare and education, climate disruption, and conflict. A UNFPA YouGov survey of over 14,000 people in 14 countries found most wanted more children but were prevented by social, economic, or health barriers. To respond to global population trends effectively, leaders must prioritize young people's needs and voices. They need more than services, they need hope, stability, and a future worth planning for. As one activist told UNFPA, young people are not just thinking about their future children, they are thinking about the world those children will inherit. Supporting their rights is key to sustainable development, peace, harmony, and dignity, human dignity. when we look at the world population trends, it took hundreds of thousands of years for the world population to grow to 1 billion. Then in just another 200 years or so, it grew sevenfold. In 2011, the global population reached the 7 billion mark. It stands at almost 7.9 billion in 2021, and it's expected to grow to 8.5 billion in 2030, 9.7 billion in 2050, and 10.9 billion in 2100. This dramatic growth has been driven largely by increasing number of people surviving to reproductive age and has been accompanied by major changes in fertility rates, increasing urbanization, and accelerating migration. These trends will have far-reaching implications for generations to come. The recent past has seen enormous changes in fertility rates and life expectancy. In the early 1970s, women had on average 4.5 children each. By 2050, total fertility of the world have been fallen to below 2.5 children per woman. Meanwhile, average global lifespans have risen from 64.6 years in the early 1990s to 72.6 years in 2009. In addition, the world is seeing high levels of urbanization and accelerating migration. 2007 was the first year in which more people lived in urban areas than in rural areas. And by 2050, about 66% of the world population will be living in cities. These megatrends have far-reaching implications. They affect economic development, employment, income distribution, poverty, and social protections. They also affect efforts to ensure universal access to healthcare, education, housing, sanitation, water, food, and energy. To more sustainably address the needs of individuals, policymakers must understand to more sustainably address the needs of individuals, policymakers must understand how many people are living on the planet and why they are, and where they are, how old they are, and how many people will come after them. The dramatic growth of world's population has been driven largely by increasing number of people surviving to reproductive age and has been accompanied by major changes in fertility rates, increasing urbanization, and accelerating migration. These trends will have far-reaching implications for generations to come. The United Nations system has long been involved in addressing these complex and interrelated issues, notably through the work of UN Population Fund, UNFPA, and the UN Population Division of the Department of Economic and Social Affairs. In 2025, falling of fertility rates are making global headlines, with some governments warning of a population collapse and introducing drastic policies to boost births. But at the same time, millions of people still can't have the number of children they actually want. According to UNFPA's latest State of Population report, the real crisis isn't about population numbers. It's about people losing the ability to make their own choices. It's a crisis of reproductive freedom. When we look at the background of this day, World Population Day, which seeks to focus attention on the urgency and importance of population issues, was established by then Governing Council of the United Nations Development Programme in 1989, an outgrowth of the interest generated by the Day of 5 billion, which was observed on 11 July 1987. By Resolution 45 by 216 of December 1990, the United Nations General Assembly decided to continue observing World Population Day to enhance awareness of population issues, including their relations to the environment and development. The day was first marked on 11 July 1990 in more than 90 countries. Since then, a number of UNFPA country offices and other organizations and institutions commemorate World Population Day in partnership with governments and civil society. The UN Population Division collaboration closely with the agencies, funds, programs, and bodies of the United Nations system in the implementation of the work program on the population and the follow-up of the International Conference on Population and Development. United Nations missions, national government offices, United Nations offices, researchers, media representatives, and the public regularly consult the population division regarding population estimates and projections and information and analysis on population and development issues. At its 38th session, the Statistical Commission requested the United Nations Statistics Division and other international agencies to increase their technical assistance to national statistical officers in order to strengthen national capacity for the implementation of 2010 World Program on Population and Housing Census. In addition, the Commission requested countries to begin implementation of the revised principles and recommendations for population and housing censuses. So UNFPA works with many partners both within and outside the United Nations system, including governments, non-governmental organizations, civil society, faith-based organizations, religious leaders, and others to achieve its mission to better respond to local needs. UNFPA increasingly devotes resources to country-led efforts, placing emphasis on country-focused and country-led implementation to achieve improved results, at the same time addressing mutual accountability and strengthening harmonization and alignment. UNFPA works to support family planning by ensuring a steady, reliable supply of quality contraceptives, strengthening national health systems, advocating for policies supportive of family planning, and gathering data to support this. UNFPA also provides global leadership in increasing access to family planning by convening partners, including governments, to develop evidence and policies, and by offering programmatic technical and financial assistance to developing countries. So 9 standards to uphold the human rights to family planning include non-discrimination. Family planning information and services cannot be restricted on the basis of race, sex, language, religion, political affiliation, national origin, age, economic status, place of residence, disability status, marital status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Countries must ensure that family planning commodities and services are accessible to everyone. Countries must ensure that family planning commodities and services are accessible to everyone and available to everyone, affordable to everyone, and contraceptive services and informations must be provided in a dignified manner, respecting both modern medical ethics and the culture of those being accommodated. Family planning information must be clearly communicated and scientifically accurate. Every person must be empowered to make reproductive choices with full autonomy, free of pressure, coercion, or misrepresentation. All individuals must enjoy the right to privacy when seeking family planning information and services. Countries have an obligation to ensure the active and informed participation of individuals in decisions that affected them, including health issues. Accountability, health systems, education systems, leaders and policymakers must be accountable to the people they serve in all efforts to realize the human right to family planning. As per 2025, the world population as of now in 2025 last calculated is around 8,232 millions. And the population annual doubling time in years in 2025 is 82. Population aged 0 to 14% is 24%. Population age 10 to 9 is 16%. Population age 10 to 24 is 24%. Population age 15 to 64 is 65%. Population age 65 and older is 10%. Total fertility rate per woman is 2.2%. Life expectancy at birth is 71%. Life expectancy at birth for females is 76%. Coming to sexual and reproductive health, among 2022, 2004 and 2024, as per the statistics, maternal mortality ratio, deaths per 1 lakh live births in 2023 is 197. Births attended by skilled health personnel is 87% in between 2000 and 2024. Range of MMR uncertainty, UI is 80%. Lower estimate is 174% in 2023. Range of MMR uncertainty, UI 80%. Upper estimate in 2023 is 234. Laws and regulations that guarantee access to sexual and reproductive health care information and education is 76% in 2022. Number of new HIV infections, all ages per 1,000 uninfected population in 2023 is 0.2. Universal Health Coverage Service Coverage Index is 68 in 2021. Today is also commemorated as World Horse Day, honoring a timeless partner. Few animals have contributed a human progress profoundly and quietly, as the horse from ancient nomads to the Eurasian steppages to modern Olympic arenas and backyard barns. Horses have carried goods, plowed fields, won wars, and comforted hearts. Even in today's high-tech world, draft horses will still work organic farms, mounted rangers, protect wildlife, and therapy ponies bring joy to hospitals. In recognition of this lasting partnership, the United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution 79 by 291 on 3rd June 2025, declaring 11 July as World Horse Day. The resolution calls on government, schools, business, and individuals to celebrate the role of horses and to tackle the challenges they face in the modern world. The numbers speak for themselves. The FAO's 2023 data counts around 60.8 million horses globally, although they were unevenly distributed. The United States has 2.4 million horses and ponies on over 63,000 farms as per 2022 USDA census, while the European Union supports a herd of about 7 million equines and 800,000 jobs in breeding, sport, and tourism. In Mongolia, horses are still part of daily life, with 3.4 million horses for 3.3 million people. Beyond sports and industry, horses, donkeys, and mules are vital to rural life. A joint study by World Organization for Animal Health and FAO estimates that 112 million working equids support the livelihoods of around 600 million people in low and middle income countries. These animals carry water, transport crops, and support families every day. But the conditions horses face are getting tougher. According to the World Meteorological Organization, 2024 was the first full year with global temperatures exceeding 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. This increased heat stress for working and sport horses alike, from cooling lanes at Olympic events to new global welfare standards. Adapting to a changing climate is now essential. World Horse Day is more than a celebration. It's a call to protect one of humanity's oldest partnerships, which still helps feed us, support our economies, and lift our spirits. Why horses still matter to everyday life, where they help, and what the evidence shows. Food and farming, draft horses provide the low carbon tillage, light soil impact, and natural fertilizer. Jobs and rural income, working equids help 600 million people work, study, and live with less physical burden. Culture and tourism, the EU's equine sector supports festivals, trail tourism, and rare breeds, preserving heritage and boosting local economies. Sports and inspiration, Olympic equestrian events follow strict beat the heat protocols, including misting lanes, shaded cool downs, and live temperature checks. So, how do we celebrate World Horse Day? So, visit a local rescue or therapy center, meet horses, learn care basics, and support your community. Choose a carriage or trial ride where horses are kindly treated instead of a short drive. Enjoy low emission travel and support small horse business. Post a reliable horse fact on social media. Example, a horse can drink up to 50 liters, 13.21 US gallons, that is 10.998 UK gallons of water on a hot day. Donate extra towels or tack. Some summer rescues need cooling clothes and safe halters. Watch an Olympic equestrian replay. Learn how welfare protocols work in real time and share what you notice. As global temperature rises, caring for horses is becoming more urgent. The extreme heat of 2024 revealed how climate stress affects horses, whether on farms, in transit, or at events. In response to global organizations, are updating care standards for feeding, hoof care, rest, and equipment. Efforts to better track horse population are also growing, especially in rural areas, from Olympic arenas to local shows. New heat protection rules are taking hold in a warming world. Horse care must evolve. Horses remain essential worldwide. 61 million are working, healing, inspiring on every continent. A major economic contributor in the EU, 7 million horses support a euro 100 billion, that is US dollars 115.27 billion USD industry and 8 lakh jobs. A rural lifeline, working horses, donkeys, and mules supports 600 million people's daily lives. Climate change raises urgent needs, so 2024's record heat shows that shade, cooling, and welfare must be shared global priorities. Two 2025 is 80th anniversary of FAO. FAO collects global horse population data and promotes climate smart livestock strategies. There is also commemorated as International Day of Reflection and commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica on 11th July. The war that followed the breakup of former Yugoslavia claimed more than 1 lakh lives in Bosnia and Herzegovina between 1992 and 1995, mostly of Bosnian Muslims, and displaced more than 2 million others. The massacre in Srebrenica marked one of the darkest chapters of that war. In July 1995, the Bosnian Serb army overran Srebrenica, previously declared a safe under UN Security Council Resolution 819, and brutally murdered thousands of men and teenagers there. The remainder of Bosnian Muslim population present in Srebrenica, approximately 25,000 women, children, and elderly were forced transferred out of the enclave. This was the largest massacre in Europe since the Holocaust. To date, only a few events have been determined by competent judicial bodies to constitute genocide. The International Court of Justice, in short known as ICJ, and the International Criminal Tribunal for former Yugoslavia, ICTY, recognized the massacre of Bosnian Muslims in Srebrenica by the Army of Republika Sprexa as an act of genocide. So the genocide left deep emotional scars on the survivors, families of victims, and the Bosnian and Herzegovinian society in general, creating enduring obstacles to reconciliation among countries' different ethnic groups. 2025 will mark the 13th anniversary of the genocide in Srebrenica, in which more than 8,000 lives were lost, thousands were displaced, and families and communities were devastated. United Nations special advisors have reportedly expressed concerns over continuous incidents of revisions concerning atrocity crimes perpetuated during the 1992 and 1995 conflict, including unabated denial of this Srebrenica genocide and glorification of convicted war criminals. Today is also commemorated as World Benzodiazepine Awareness Day. Which is observed on July 11th. Every year, the day is to raise awareness and educate the public about the dangers of long-term use of benzodiazepines, frequently prescribed for mental health conditions like anxiety, insomnia, and seizures. Benzodiazepines are psychoactive drugs. While they seem harmless, they are easy to overdose on when used with other medication or alcohol. The primary concern with benzodiazepines is a severe physical dependency cultivated due to prolonged prescription, and this is what the World Benzodiazepine Awareness Day seeks to address. This annual observance serves to give awareness and educate the general public about the dangers of when used over long periods on their own when prescribed. For short term, they can improve symptoms of anxiety, insomnia, and seizures. However, when these drugs are used for longer than 2 or 4 weeks or with other medication or alcohol, they can have detrimental effects, including overdose. Long-term usage of benzodiazepines can affect individuals with anxiety and agitation, making their symptoms worse over time and rather than improving. Using these drugs for longer than 4 weeks can also worsen feelings of suicide ideation and depression in individuals already experiencing these mental health issues. Long-term result in dependency. Even when used at low dosages, ordinary everyday people become unknowingly dependent on benzodiazepines after long-term prescriptions. So WBAD was initiated by activists who survived benzodiazepine injury and wanted to bring awareness to the dangers of this drug and growing problem of people developing a dependence on this drug unknowingly. The day also encourages medical practitioners to follow basic principles when prescribing benzodiazepines to ensure patients know the side effects and dangers of long-term use. These principles encourage doctors to support patients who are long-term users of the drug to prevent injury and wean them off to benzodiazepines onto safer medication. It is also commemorated as World Kebab Day in US as an occasion to commemorate, and its multiple varieties are hugely popular because of this meaty texture and amazing array of spices and aromas. And there are more than 20 types of kebabs that are prepared differently in each region or family and with a vegetarian version. And that's a quite lot of variety to experience for just one day. Today, Kebab Day has become a way to celebrate the popularity of this food, which can be eaten in so many diverse ways with a range of bread, spices, and condiments. Today is also commemorated as National Swimming Pool Day in US on July 11th each year, and is not just a celebration of swimming pools, but also of all the paraphernalia that accompanies pools, such as pool toys, accessories, and swimwear. Is it the chance to show off the summer board looking fabulous in the latest swimwear designs, or maybe the fact you love the exercise that swimming provides? Or perhaps you like poolside barbecues and very thought of it gets your mouth watering. Whatever the reason, we are sure and glad that someone long ago thought of the concept of swimming pool, which makes summer a lot more enjoyable and the heat more bearable altogether. Today is also commemorated as National State Fair Food Day in US. There is much to love about state fairs, the rides, competition stalls, and the best part, food. While nothing beats attending a state fair, sometimes we just want to enjoy all the great food without waiting in lines with crowds of people. Instead, why not order state fair food online, prepare simply recipes, and enjoy fried and delicious food right out of oven? State fairs are a summer staple taking place once in a year. People flock to fairgrounds to enjoy the stalls, livestock, rides, and gifts. But let's be honest, it's all about the fried and delicious food on sticks and otherwise. The food is memorable and we look forward to enjoying it again all year long. Some of the best state foods include corn dogs, cotton candy, funnel cakes, deep fried cookies, cheese on a stick, and chicken wings. Today is also commemorated as National Rainier Cherry Day in US. On July 11th, the day celebrates one of the nation's best loved summer fruits. This day also marks the peak of Rainier cherry harvest for growers in Washington. In fact, Washington produces some of the highest quantities of creamy yellow flesh and a red blush cherries in the states. The Rainier cherries are golden yellow cherries with tender, creamy yellow flesh and a red blush. They have a tiny brown color kernel too. Rainier cherries have a high sugar content, are classified as premium fruits. These cherries are a good source of vitamins, minerals, and potassium. Birds feast on Rainier cherries too, and they are menace to farmers who put nets to keep birds from precious fruit. The cherries are treated with the utmost care even after they are picked from the trees. Immediately after harvest, the fruit is dried, hydro-cooled to preserve the freshness of the fruit. Rainier cherries are quite an expensive compared to red cherries, even though the price remains high. People don't mind shelling out some extra dollars to enjoy the sweetness and nutritional values of the fruit. Today is also commemorated as National Polyphenol Day in US, which is dedicated to the polyphenols, which is a type of micronutrient found in plants. These micronutrients work as natural energy boosters and can give a variety of health benefits as well as protection from aging related damage. A diet rich in polyphenols is recommended by Dr. Stephen Gundry, a distinguished cardiovascular surgeon who specializes in nutrition and the treatment of aged people. Supported mental clarity and a healthy heart are two potential benefits of polyphenol-rich diet. Today is also commemorated as National Motorcycle Day in US on the second Friday of July every year. This year it falls on July 11th. We are getting ready to hit the road to experience the ultimate pleasure of a long ride. Motorcycles are what make the ride an experience. The wind on your face as you hit the high speeds cannot be experienced inside the combo of a car motorcycle. Today is also commemorated as National Mojito Day. Today is also commemorated as National French Fry Day in US on July 11th. It's an opportunity to take time to sample some golden brown potato slices. Potatoes were being fried in Belgium way before the French, but more on that later. When it comes to the tastiest French fries on the planet, everyone seems to have opinion. It's a time-consuming decision to find your favorite because no two restaurants seems to have same. When it comes to the tastiest French fries on the planet, everyone seems to have opinion. It's time-consuming decision to find your favorite because no two restaurants seem to have same recipe. French fries do have a nutritional stigma attached to them. However, due to high caloric and fat content, but it's tough to say no to a hot batch of even the ones at the bottom of the bag. Today is also commemorated as National Culture and Senior Citizens Day in Kiribati. This day celebrates the traditions of Kiribati, including its emphasis on appreciating seniors in their society. In the past, councils of chiefs ruled the islands. Members of these councils were some of the oldest and most experienced people on the island. Today, more so members of these senior citizens or councils were some of the oldest and most experienced people on the island. Today, most decisions are made by the courts and national government of Kiribati. and the tradition of honoring the elderly remains. Their councils are consulted on many social, political, and economic issues, acting as a sounding board for many decisions. Today is also commemorated as National Blueberry Muffin Day in US. It is one of the popular muffin flavors. Those who love it swear by it. National Blueberry Muffin Day was created in order to celebrate the culinary delight that is blueberry muffin. Blueberries are rich in antioxidants, have tons of health benefits, and having a muffin the easiest way to incorporate these berries into your diet. In fact, a lot of people consider blueberries to be superfood. These berries aid in weight loss and healthy digestion, and they keep you full for a long time. Moreover, blueberries also boost mental health, protect against heart disease, manage blood sugar levels, improve skin clarity, and make our There is also commemorated as National 7-Eleven Day, which takes place annually on July 7th since 2002. On this day, 7-Eleven, a prominent convenience shop chain, gives out free Slurpees to customers. Slurpee is an icy drink with wonderful flavor contribution. Combination, it is a carbonated beverage that comes in a variety of flavors that is naturally frozen and it is neat. It is also commemorated as International Essential Oils Day, celebrated on July 11th. Every year for 25 years, at least, people have increased their usage of essential oils. People use it by topical application on the skin or through other methods. The variety of stains and extractions from various plants result in different levels of purity and color as well. This aromatic day recognizes the benefits and license option. There is also commemorated as Free Slurpee Day in US on July 11th. There is also commemorated as Day of the Flemish Community in Belgium, which is a historical event celebrated on July 11th to mark the anniversary of the Battle of the Golden Spurs. Not entirely public holiday, the day is commemorated with a grand festival at the Grand Palace and the Palace de la Moni in Brussels. There live music, guided tours, and even for children to celebrate the overwhelming victory of the Flemish back in 1302. Today is also commemorated as Collector Car Appreciation Day in US, which is celebrated annually to raise awareness regarding the importance of automotive restoration, as well as the hobby of collecting cars. Restoring and collecting cars plays an essential role in the American. Today is also commemorated as Cheer Up the Lonely Day on July 11th in US. We are getting ready to celebrate with lots of activities to spread social cheer, whether it's your close friend, family partner, or neighbor. Today is also commemorated as celebration of the Golden Spurs in Belgium, which is observed on July 11th every year. This day marks the victory of Flemish over the French in the Battle of Golden Spurs in 1302. The holiday is also referred to as Holiday of the Flemish Community. Celebration of the Golden Spurs is also an annual commemoration of the Flemish community in modern-day Belgium. The decision is to celebrate the day came along on July 6, 1973, when the three This day marks the victory of the Flemish over the French and British in the Battle of Golden Spurs in 302. The holiday is also referred to as Day of Flemish Community. It is also commemorated as Baudelaire's Day on July 11th, the birthday of the physician and philanthropist who published a cancer edition of Shakespeare's words, Thomas Baudelaire, depending on There is also commemorated as Baldur's Day, the birthday of a physician and philanthropist who published a censored edition of Shakespeare works. Thomas Boulder, depending on who you ask, Boulder is either a prude or a genius. During the career, he was heavily edited. Shakespeare's aim among fireworks to make them once family friendly, he regularly enforced voice and intimacy for literature so that they could be ready by more people. So more these member these versions were also cheaper than the organization's edition. Boulder's creativity by students, researchers, and censorship act. It is also commemorated as Bediangkalam in Meghalaya on July 11th and in India. So we have seen in the previous year how men are dominating the field. With this, we shall end today's commemorations. With the last commemoration, All American Pet Photo Day on July 11th in US. It is a day solely dedicated to appreciating our lovable pets who make life better every single day. While pets always enjoys the limelight that encourages us to make it more special and make them the main focus on. Today, people need photograph of your pets in social media and share the love for their fury to healthy friends with thousands of people on. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. If anyone have any suggestions, feedback, you are welcome. So we request everyone to please fill up the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. To see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations. Take care. Good night.